Stoicism in action. The diverging paths of Seneca and Marcus Aurelius. Seneca and Marcus Aurelius are often mentioned in the same breath as the titans of Stoic philosophy. Their wisdom fills self-help books, corporate seminars, and social media feeds with crisp aphorisms about resilience, virtue, and inner peace. Yet despite their shared philosophical outlook, their lives were marked by stark contrasts. One, a wealthy, politically entangled courtier navigating the treacherous waters of imperial Rome. The other, a reluctant emperor who bore the weight of a crumbling empire. Seneca's pragmatic Stoicism. Lucius Annaeus Seneca, the orator, playwright, and advisor to Emperor Nero, was an enigma wrapped in contradictions. He preached detachment from wealth while amassing vast riches. He wrote extensively on virtue, but engaged in court intrigues. His Stoicism was not the rigid, ascetic ideal we often romanticize, but rather a flexible, almost Machiavellian philosophy that allowed him to survive the cutthroat politics of Rome, until, of course, he didn't. Seneca's Stoicism was practical and somewhat compromised. He was deeply influenced by the Stoic ideal of enduring hardship with dignity, but he also understood the necessity of maneuvering through the treacheries of power. His letters to Lucilius offer brilliant reflections on mortality, self-discipline, and the fleeting nature of fortune. Yet, his own end was far from the tranquil acceptance he so often prescribed. When Nero ordered him to commit suicide, Seneca, true to his philosophy, faced death with grim resignation, though not without physical suffering. If Seneca was a Stoic navigating the corridors of power, Marcus Aurelius was power itself, an emperor who tried, against all odds, to live as a philosopher. Unlike Seneca, Marcus did not have the luxury of Stoic retreat. His was a life of relentless duty, spent fighting wars on the empire's frontiers, contending with political betrayals and suffering personal tragedies, including the deaths of multiple children. His meditations, written not for publication but as a personal exercise, offer an intimate glimpse into the mind of a ruler, grappling with the tension between Stoic ideals and the burdens of governance. Where Seneca's writings often seem like lessons crafted for an audience, Marcus's thoughts feel raw, personal, and at times weary. He reminds himself, and us, that the universe is indifferent, that suffering is inevitable, and that virtue is the only true possession. A contrast of circumstances and character. Seneca's Stoicism was one of survival. Marcus Aurelius's was one of endurance. Seneca, though undoubtedly a great thinker, had to reconcile his philosophy with political pragmatism, sometimes making ethical compromises in service to power. Marcus, on the other hand, had no choice but to shoulder his immense responsibilities, making him the closest thing to Plato's philosopher-king. While Seneca's Stoicism was tinged with contradictions, preaching detachment while accumulating wealth, advising virtue while maneuvering through Nero's court, Marcus's was brutally honest, the musings of a man who bore the crushing realities of empire. Despite their differences, both men left behind works that continue to inspire. Seneca offers a Stoicism that acknowledges human frailty, teaching us how to navigate an imperfect world. Marcus Aurelius, meanwhile, gives us a model of leadership and resilience in the face of adversity. If Seneca was the Stoic who played the game of power, Marcus was the Stoic who bore its burden. Both, in their own way, remind us that philosophy is not just an abstract exercise, but a way of life, whether in the halls of power or on the battlefields of history.